Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the floating head of Simon TV. The polls open in the second and final round of the French legislative elections in several hours, and I'll tell you what you need to know. I'll be providing rolling coverage when polling stations close and results start rolling in at 8 p.m. French time, which is 6 a.m. New Zealand Standard Time. Join me on my Twitter feed for that coverage. Here's how things stand at the moment. According to the latest Ipsos Talon poll, which is very, very reliable, support for the far-right Rassemblement National has eased back. They were looking at the potential of getting the 289 seats in the legislature that would have guaranteed an outright majority. That is looking less likely now. If you look at the brown line there, Rassemblement National are looking at between 175 and 205 seats, even if they manage to convince the rump of the Republican Party, which is the right-wing party, to join them in coalition. There, the blue line there, you can see that they're only looking at up to about 67 seats, which would not be enough to get them over. In the middle, Nouveau Front Populaire, that's the far left coalition, running in second, looking at between 145 and 175 seats. They have formed a cordon sanitaire with Ensemble, which is the coalition represented by the incumbent Emmanuel Macron's party. That is an unusual cohabitation between the two of them. What is likely to emerge, in my opinion, after this election is that France will have a hung parliament. And one of two things I think is most likely. Macron's government will continue in a caretaker role with effectively confidence and supply from Nouveau Front Populaire, or other minor parties, or they may even form a coalition with the far left. I think that is very unlikely. If it does happen, it is going to make a lot of people very, very unhappy. But either way, those are not very good outcomes. France is going to be, I would guess, pretty much politically paralyzed by either of those two options, almost to the point of being ungovernable. The less likely outcome is that Rassemblement National do, against what the polls are predicting, form a majority government. I don't think that that's going to happen, but the French public, particularly those in the centre who have been instructed to vote for a Nouveau Front candidate, if that person was coming second in the first round, may be inclined to stay home or to just not do that for fear of what a far left government might look like. In terms of events, I see that the NFP have called for a demonstration in central Paris that is at Place de la Concorde. The police have told them not to. They've banned that demonstration. I suspect it's going to happen anyway. That's in the 8th arrondissement on the right bank of the river. It's just across the bridge from Palais Bourbon, which is where the French Assembly meets in the 7th arrondissement. If you happen to watch this, you happen to be in Paris, Sunday would not be a good time to be there. Okay, just on coverage, I've been quite shocked this week at how poor the coverage is in the English language. A lot of the English-speaking press has been ignorant and uninformed, which has been exacerbated by social media influencers who are both uninformed and it would be fair to say agenda-driven. A good example of this was right-wing influencers on social media describing several hundred people kicking off last Sunday, our time, as riots across France. It wasn't true, and don't believe everything that you see and read. If you tune into my Twitter feed, I will give you the unvarnished truth from French news sources, media sources, and government sources across the political spectrum. And you don't have to believe me. You can look at those sources for yourself. As I go through, I will be linking to them where I can. Also, keep in mind with many French news sources, they do provide English language translations of some of their articles. All right, so that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, France is the shining light of Western democracy. My hope for tomorrow is that cool heads prevail. Vive la France, and long live the Fifth Republic. Thanks for tuning in. See you in the mix tomorrow. Bye.